Let's get set for a great week ahead. Sunday resets for me are always in the kitchen. So join me today for a fridge deep clean, some pantry organization, a healthy snack option for your kids, and a grocery haul. I hope you have a fantastic week after getting all set for the week ahead. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. I hope you get lots of homemaking motivation and you leave here feeling like you've made a new friend. Let's get started with the fridge. Today I'm going to give the inside of the refrigerator a really good deep clean. It's pretty minimal on the ingredients that I have left in here, so I'm going to take everything out of the refrigerator, have it completely empty so I can really get in here and scrub it down. Give it a little bit of time to dry out. We do have another area we can store some of this food throughout today while I am cleaning everything up so that nothing goes bad, and then I can put back whatever needs to go back in here. I didn't end up doing the doors because those were in really good shape. I feel like those don't get as messy as fast, and I had just wiped those down. As you can see, some of them are empty, so I always make sure to empty, if they are emptied, to give them a really good clean. After I take everything out, I'm gonna go through everything that's on this counter, see if there's anything that's expired or is no longer any good that I just wasn't aware of. To clean the fridge today, I'm using a mixture of vinegar, baking soda, and hot water. I'm just using a microfiber cloth and going to wipe everything down really good. And then I did use a dry microfiber cloth to dry it out a little bit, and then I let it sit for a little bit of time so that it completely dried before I put everything back in the fridge. This was a super easy mixture to make. Everything I just already had in my house, easily accessible, and it worked really well at getting everything nice and clean. I started out by doing this in stages, which is how I typically clean. I try to make things as least overwhelming as possible and just break everything down in small little bites so you don't feel like you're doing this huge project that takes all day. But since I had kind of minimal ingredients that were in my fridge, I ended up just taking everything out and working with a completely empty refrigerator, which was really nice to do. It's not what I typically do, something I do ever really. So if you do have the opportunity and the ingredients that you do have in your refrigerator are pretty minimal, sometimes I feel like I have to work pretty fast when we're working in the refrigerator because you don't want any of the products to go bad. But in reality, nothing really goes bad for a couple hours, so you could leave it out if that was your only option. Thankfully, we do have other options to store, especially like if you have milk or creamer or yogurt or anything like that. You don't want that to sit out really long. So I ended up taking everything out. I did do all 3 of the drawers that I have here in my refrigerator in the sink and really scrubbed them down and scrubbed down underneath the sink. The only thing that I couldn't figure out is in between where like the clear layer, the glass layer on the shelves are, and then where that white strip is, there seems to be some buildup in there. So I couldn't figure out how to separate that to clean that out. So if you know how to do that, please leave a comment down below. I would love to learn how to. as I feel like it really could use a better clean if I could figure out how to take it apart. I'm sure I could look it up and figure out how to do it, because there's got to be a way. If there's crumbs and things that get in there, then I should be able to get in there too. So if you know how to do it, please leave a comment down below. I would love to hear how you do that. And also, what products do you use to clean your refrigerator? Now I'm going to just work on getting the drawers nice and clean. There's only 3 drawers in my refrigerator. There's like the 2 that are pretty standard for fruits and vegetables, and then there's a big long one that we always keep all of our cheese and lunch meat, that kind of thing, in at the bottom. So I'm just going to clean those. Oh, and what I'm cleaning right now is just a drawer that I got at Marshall's, and I put all of the meats that we're gonna eat during that week for our dinners. So if we use chicken or hamburger or sausage or anything like that, I always just put it in this container so that it's ready for me to cook dinner, but it's like contained in a safe place. So sometimes, you know, meat can it could get punctured or trip or anything like that. We've definitely had that happen in our refrigerator, and it was such a mess, and there was a bunch of stuff that kind of got spoiled from that. So I found having a separate container to put all of that in has been nice and clean, easy for us to do, and gives the meats like a home throughout the week so that they're ready for me to be able to easily grab and cook dinner. If this is your first time watching my channel, one of my videos, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Bridget. I am a wife. My husband and I have been married almost 10 years. We'll celebrate our 10-year wedding anniversary this August. And we have a 2-year-old son. His name is Luca. We also have a gorgeous black lab. Her name is Millie. I'm sure you'll see little glimpses of her throughout the videos, as she's like my little shadow, usually not far behind me. Thank you so much for clicking on my video, taking the time to watch. I hope you are enjoying it. Please leave a comment introducing yourself to me down below. I love to hear from all of you and get to know who my viewers are. I also wanted to mention I do work full-time. I know a lot of moms who have cleaning channels are stay-at-home moms. That's a very common thing, but I felt like it was kind of like a missing part of the YouTube world, that there's not very many working moms that have channels like this. So I wanted to get on here and encourage moms who do work full-time that there is lots of opportunity to still take care of your home and be a big part of your kids' lives, even if they go to a school program or a preschool or daycare, or if they are school aged and you work full time. I know there is a lot on our plates when we do have all of that going on, but me personally, I was just not made to be a stay-at-home mom. I have worked super hard in my career. I absolutely love my job, and I am very fortunate that I can do my job full-time from home. I do go into the office every once in a while. So I do have some opportunity to do things in the mornings, during my lunch break, after work and things like that, get some of these things done. But most of my housework does get done during the weekends, as I'm sure a lot of you do the same thing. So thankfully I do have nap time still, so I can take advantage of that and get some of these things done. My husband's home a lot of times too, so if my son isn't in any clips, a lot of times he's playing with my husband while I'm doing some of these household duties and filming these videos for you. So we just finished the fridge. It is a sparkling clean, all ready for the week. There's honestly like hardly anything even left in here, which is so great. We spent this past week really trying to go through what we had in here because there was just so much food. And sometimes it's just nice to not have to go to the grocery store and just eat what you already have in the house, pare everything down, make sure everything's getting utilized, and you also get to see what your family is enjoying and what they're not really liking. So I can stop like adding things to the grocery list if I thought people were liking it and they're not, because after this week of not going to the grocery store at all, I could see what's left and what we really didn't utilize. With the season changing too, I'm sure that's gonna play an effect of changing since the weather's warmer. Even though I am freezing right now, I did put a sweatshirt on. It's not very thick at all, it's like really thin. But when I started filming earlier today, it was bright, sunny, it had gotten to 80 degrees. It's now 70 degrees and there's a huge storm. It's like thundering and lightning and stuff. So you'll probably see my dog hovering around. She hates storms. Hopefully you can't hear any of it. I'll probably do most voiceover in this video anyway, so you probably won't. But yeah, so if the lighting has completely changed, that is why the weather has totally changed, and it'll probably change again once the rain stops. But once it rains here, it always drops the temperature a lot. So I started in short sleeves. I'm freezing. I'm always cold though, so leave a comment down below. Are you always cold or are you always hot? I feel like it's one or the other. There's never anybody that I meet that's like in between. Love the summer weather. I love it when it's 90 degrees outside. I can just sit and enjoy the sun. And my dog is the same way, so that's usually what we do most of the time these days during my lunch break is I take my lunch out there and we just enjoy the beautiful weather. That was our plan today too, so thankfully we got out there for a little bit this morning and enjoyed the weather, since it's completely turned temperature and now it's raining, so we can't go outside. But that is why I put on a sweatshirt, because I am really cold and I still have a few things to do in order to get us all ready for the upcoming week. So the next thing on my list is to just quickly go through the pantry. The pantry was in pretty good shape. There wasn't too much that I had to do on this day. The only thing that is driving me crazy are the crackers. My son really just is not into crackers these days. So we've had these crackers for kind of a while, but these containers keep them so good that you can still eat them. So I think what I'm gonna do is kind of make snack baggies and put them all together. Maybe he'll be a little bit more interested in them if it's like a snack mix. Sometimes kids find that to be really fun and exciting. We do have some beach days planned and days at the pool, so maybe I'll bring those as a snack. And since he's going to be burning a little bit more energy, he'll definitely like have the munchies a little bit more. Maybe he can eat all that up during those days. Does that ever happen to you, that you buy snacks, your kids like them for a while, so you keep purchasing them, and then they just don't want them at all? So then they just sit in the pantry and it just feels so wasteful to just throw them out. Leave a comment down below if that's happened to you and what you've done to use up the food. So as I was cleaning out the pantry, I saw all of these ingredients and I was just saying that I could use some options of healthy snacks for my son. So this is one that's great. I make these all the time. I haven't made them in a little bit, but I do have all the ingredients, so I'm just gonna whip them up really quickly. They're just little energy bites. I'm gonna add these mini little M&Ms for my son, so he'll think that they're more fun. And then this should be a much better version of like a granola bar type of thing for him to have as a snack. So they are super, super easy. You just need some oats. So, as I make a mess, I'm gonna do 2 cups of oats. A half cup for the honey too, so I'm just gonna do half a cup of the M&Ms. You can always eyeball them too. You need some vanilla. And then honey and peanut butter. My son loves peanut butter. If your kids can't have peanut butter, you could always do almond butter or anything else that they do like. Obviously, this is not nut allergy friendly, but I'm sure there are tons of recipes on Pinterest with options that would be. The most difficult part of making this little snack is getting it all mixed together. It's pretty sticky and can be a little challenging to get it all mixed. So just keep working at it until it all blends together. Eventually it will. After I've got it all mixed together, it's way too soft right now to form into the little bite-sized pieces. So I'm gonna throw it in the refrigerator for a little bit, like half hour to an hour. And then whenever I remember to come back and take them out and form them into the bites, I showed that to you as well. So this is a really great option for a snack for your kids as well as yourself. And as I said earlier, there's so many different options of recipes that you can find on Pinterest to make these. So if chocolate is not your thing, there are definitely ones that don't have any chocolate at all. But if you do like chocolate, you could add chocolate chips or anything like that. There's lots of different flavors. I've seen like seasonal type ones too, where there's like pumpkin options, things like that. So it's something that you can definitely switch up. It's been a couple hours since I put these in the refrigerator, and I finally remembered, because sometimes I get distracted and forget that I put them in there, that they are in the fridge and definitely ready to be formed into the bite-sized pieces. So I just take a little handful, form them into like meatball shaped and little bite-sized pieces. And then I just use the cover as like my plate, and then I'll put them back into this container so I don't have to clean it yet. I don't have to dirty another container, and then just store them in the refrigerator. They will melt really easily, so you definitely have to store them in the refrigerator. For my son, I only allow him to have one per day because they are pretty high fiber. Especially if you add flaxseed to them. I don't have any flaxseed right now, so that's the only reason I didn't add it today, but normally I would, and that's just so much fiber. So I say that serving size for like myself or my husband would be 2 of them per day. Otherwise, like, your stomach's gonna be really upset if you eat more. I've given this recipe out to a few friends and family, and some have come back and said they're so good. I ate 6 in one day, but then I had such a stomach ache. So just take note, don't do that. You will definitely regret it, as it will really hurt your stomach. Consuming that much fiber in one day, you're probably getting fiber throughout other meals in your day as well. So if you're eating them yourself, just limit yourself to 2, and for your kids, just give them 1. It's definitely more than enough. Here's our grocery haul for this week. We got vanilla yogurt, strawberry yogurt, eggs, bread, tortillas, coffee creamer, sticks of butter. Regular ground beef, we'll use half this week and then freeze half for next week or the week after. Spinach, mini cucumbers, strawberries, blueberries, Ezekiel bread, sweet potatoes, peppers, and cherry tomatoes, avocados, bananas, American cheese and some lunch meat, feta cheese, more of the Italian seasoning, some taco seasoning, some snack bars, kombucha, and then corn and black beans, chicken nuggets, and some fries. This week, I plan on making a chicken pesto pasta with the peppers and the tomatoes. We're gonna do tacos with the burger and the tortillas. I love to have toast for breakfast. We use the bread for grilled cheese for my son. And he hasn't seemed to be really into grapes lately, so I thought I'd switch it up and get him blueberries instead this week. I'm getting everything quickly put away as my husband was a little concerned. He said some of the things have been sitting out, so I put everything in the freezer. I don't remember if I filmed that or not, but now I'm getting everything put back into the refrigerator. It is so nice that it's so clean and just feels a little bit organized for me. So that's nice to put everything away in a nice clean fridge that is just ready to go for the week. I have some things to put in the pantry, and then the hamburger I did end up dividing. Like I said, I am going to use half of it this week, half for another time, so I just put that in the freezer, and then that week that I'm going to use it, I'll just pull it out, put it in that little meat container that I have in there, and that's just one less thing that we have to purchase. We always do that with any ground beef that we get, except for bison burger. That only comes in a small package at our grocery store, and we don't have any like Sam's Club or any of those bigger stores. There is a BJ's, but we don't go there very often at all. Usually just to the grocery store. It's just the most convenient, closest to our house, and they don't really have bulk items, so it just works out for us. But we do that for our ground beef, and also chicken we'll get in a bigger package of like chicken breasts, and I'll divide that up too. If you are interested in seeing how exactly I do that, go check out my Sunday reset, I think from 2 or 3 weeks ago. I added it in there as well, so then you could see how I do that. I label all of the packages, so then I know when I put them in as well, so I don't like risk us eating chicken that's been in there too long, because you know when you put something in the freezer, sometimes you're like, oh, it could be frozen forever, no big deal, but that's not really true. I think you can only freeze it for so long, and then it does go bad eventually. So if you're interested in that, go check out that video. I'm just going to get the snack bars put back here in the pantry. I love using baskets for our pantry items, especially things like this that are prepackaged and just grab and go. I normally include me getting our fruits and vegetables all washed and put in the refrigerator. Today we ended up leaving after I was finished putting everything away, so I just threw everything in the refrigerator and took care of that after we had gotten home, and it was pretty late, so I didn't bring out the camera. But if you are interested in that, go check out my other Sunday resets. It's included in pretty much all of them. For this one, this is where I'm going to end off, so thank you so much for sticking around and watching the video to its entirety. I hope you enjoyed it, got lots of homemaking motivation. Leave here feeling like you made a new friend. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every Tuesday and Friday.